Pokemon has a lot of dragons. Over 100 Pokemon are stamped with the dragon-type label. But how many of them are actually dragons? I have personally come across many dinosaurs, birds, kaiju, fish, lizards, bugs, and even inanimate objects classified as dragons. It seems to me that the Pokemon Company has too easily approved some of these designs as dragons, and I have been offended too many times now. So, welcome to a very special tier list where I, a professional dragon connoisseur with over 30 years of experience, will harshly critique and expose which of these Pokemon are actually dragons. And if they do keep their dragon label, how good of a dragon design is it? Some are still dragons, but of very low design quality, and some are at the top S tier of their dragon class. This is also an ASMR video. Most tier list videos on YouTube are overly stimulating, with harsh lights and loud sounds. So sit back and relax, or lie down and fall asleep listening to a professional rate, review, and correct the Pokemon Company on their false assumptions about dragons. The first Pokemon on our list is Alolan Exeggutor. Alolan Exeggutor, a perfect Pokemon to start off our dragon tier list because of its very unique design. Now, at first glance, you would think this isn't a dragon. Well, let's go in for a closer look, shall we? As you can see, it has all the hallmarks of a dragon. Long neck, 2 large feet, and a tail. It has 3 heads, just like the famous Ghidorah from Godzilla. A very nice touch. It is a much more creative and derpy idea of a dragon. But is this a dragon? No. This is a palm tree. They thought they could disguise a coconut palm tree as a dragon and slip it by me. No, I'm too smart for that. I caught it. This is actually a palm tree and not a dragon. So it will be going in the not a dragon category. Next Pokemon, Dratini. Let me just bring up Dratini's information. This is a dragon. It is a more Eastern-inspired dragon with its long body. And because I am a professional dragon connoisseur, I am not biased to either Western or Eastern designs. And Dratini is a cute small water serpent dragon, a very simple design, very appealing color palette with blue and white. This is a very strong first evolution dragon Pokemon. Next Pokemon is Dragonair, another Eastern-inspired dragon water serpent, an adult form of Dratini, clearly a dragon. Dragonite, it has dragon in its name, so of course it's a dragon. This is more of a humanoid dragon, but we do not discriminate between humanoid dragons. We love Eastern, Western, humanoid-inspired dragons. The absolute S tier humanoid dragon is Omega Shenron from Dragon Ball GT. Obviously, everybody knows that. Dragonite is not even close to as good of a design as Omega Shenron. It's a little bit human in a mascot looking for me, but it is still clearly a dragon. Mega Dragonite. This is also a dragon. Actually a better evolution than normal Dragonite because it follows Dragonair's aspects more with its winged ears and gem on its tail. But is it a dragon? Yes. This is also a dragon. Mega Ampharos. This is not a dragon. This is a mouse in a wig, and someone put cotton balls on its tail. Unfortunately, not a dragon. This is the information for 𝓹𝓵𝓪𝓂𝓼. This is an insult to every dragon everywhere. This is a fly, dragonfly to be exact, so it's a bug. Dragonflies are not dragons. It is going in the not a dragon category, and it offends me. Next up is 𝓹𝓵𝓪𝓂's evolution Flygon. Now, is this evolution still a bug? Did 𝓹𝓵𝓪 do enough extra credit to pass? Yes, Flygon is a dragon. This is a good example of combining a bug element and still coming out looking like a dragon. I love the red goggle-like eyes and the green body. The antenna gives him that bug look, but the body proportions are very clearly dragon-shaped. Good job, 𝓹𝓵𝓪𝓂, on coming back and passing the exam. And I'm going to need a lot of typing here to bring up this next Pokemon because this is a very important Pokemon to the Dragon Pokemon fanbase. A lot of dragon energy, to be exact. Mega Charizard X is a dragon, an S tier dragon to be precise. Blue and black color palette, bright blue flames, a combination of a western and humanoid dragon with it standing on its hind legs, bringing a lot of power. This clear dragon. I have brought up the information for 3 Pokemon. Why 3 Pokemon, you ask? Because these are all going in the garbage bin. They are not dragons. Mega 𝓹𝓵𝓪𝓂𝓼𝓽𝓼 is a alligator, obviously. 𝓹𝓵𝓵𝓪𝓂𝓼 and 𝓹𝓵𝓵𝓪𝓂𝓼 are seahorses. And Mega 𝓹𝓵𝓪𝓂𝓼 is some sort of lizard. These are not dragons. Next up is Altaria and Mega Altaria. These two are a little contentious. Some say they look too bird-like, almost like a flying chicken, and some say they are soft, cloud-like dragons. Well, I have accepted arguments and theories from both sides of the aisle, and unfortunately, I'm going to have to side with my associates on the bird side. It just looks too much like it has a beak, and the legs resemble many types of birds. I like the fluffy clouds acting like wings, but I'm going to have to label them with the not a dragon label. And as a side note, I really think Mega Altaria is covered in too many clouds. It looks like she just came out of a bubble bath and forgot to dry off. The strongest evolutionary line you will ever see for dragon designs: Bagon, Shelgon, Salamence, Mega Salamence, and Roaring Moon. All clear dragons and all S tier. Bagon looking like a very cute stage 1 of a dragon, evolving into a egg form that hatches into Salamence, and then Mega evolves into Mega Salamence, and the ancient form, Roaring Moon. Clearly, all of these are dragons. dragons. Let's go in for a closer look, shall we? Gible is very cute. I'm going to give Gible a pass. I am a bit more lenient in the stage 1 evolutions of these Pokemon because they have the potential to evolve into clear dragon form, but unfortunately I can't pass his evolutions. Gabite is a classic awkward evolution of a Pokemon. It looks almost dinosaur fish-like, and that continues on into Garchomp and Mega Garchomp. These are more dinosaurs, in my opinion, almost raptor-like, standing on their hind legs, and dinosaurs are not dragons. Axu, Fracture, and Axorus. It is hinted at in the Axorus name. This is a dinosaur, not a dragon. This is clearly a primitive form and very dinosaur inspired, but because there is no dinosaur type in Pokemon, they lopped it into the dragon type, and it is not getting a pass from me. Axu is cute, and Axorus is very cool with its sharp fangs. I love its color palette, but I cannot give it a pass as a dragon. 𝓹𝓵𝓪𝓂𝓵𝓼𝓽𝓼, I believe that's how you pronounce it, and this is a clear dragon. I don't even think someone with a small amount of dragon experience would say it's not. 2 wings, 2 legs, 2 arms, a spiky tail, and a fierce-looking head. This is a clear dragon, not an S-tier dragon like Salamence or Mega Charizard X, but a clear A-tier dragon. Dano or Dino, Swellis or Swellius, Hydreigon or Hydreigon. Now, these ride the line between dinosaur and dragon, specifically Dino, but I am giving it a pass because it is a first stage, and he clearly evolves into dragons. Love the 3-headed design of Hydreigon, 2-headed design of Swellis, plus its wings and a fluffy body. Perfect. Not S tier, another A tier dragon line. Dragouge, 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 Dragoledge, Dragouge. It doesn't matter how you pronounce this because this is a fish. Tyrant and Tyrantrum, one of my favorite Pokemon, but unfortunately, these are Tyrannosaurus Rex designs. These are not dragons. So unfortunately, they'll be going in the not a dragon category. I have brought up the information for 𝓵𝓵𝓪𝓂𝓵𝓼, and 𝓵𝓵𝓼𝓼, plus its Hisuian form, and only one of these 5 gets the dragon stamp of approval. Can you guess which one? That's right, it's 𝓵𝓵𝓪𝓂𝓵. It only gets a pass because it is an early stage Pokemon which had the potential to grow and evolve into a dragon. It could have grown into a slug-type dragon. Think Seath from Dark Souls. Almost the same type of color palette on Seath. White, sort of pinkish. He has some crystals. And he's got 3 little appendages. Still a dragon. But 𝓵𝓵𝓪𝓂𝓵 decided to grow into a droopy slug with a shell. So, not a dragon, but 𝓵𝓵𝓪𝓂𝓵 passes. Probably B tier. I will bring up the information for the next dragon-type Pokemon. Noibat and Noivern. Now, one of these passes and one of these fails. I bet you're thinking it's probably the one that has bat in its name. Yes, you would be right. Noibat does fail, it's a bat. Noivern, on the other hand, has all the hallmarks of a dragon. It actually looks more like a wyvern because its hands are connected to its wings. But wyverns are classified as dragons. I know that's controversial in the dragon community, but my personal theory is that wyverns are dragons. So Noivern is a dragon. We'll put it in the B tier. It still has its bat-like features, so it can't go too high, but this is a dragon, so pass. I didn't need to bring up too much information for this Pokemon because, unfortunately, this is a turtle. Turtonator is a turtle, not a dragon. That was a lot of information because 𝓹𝓵𝓪𝓂𝓵𝓼 is a very strong designed Pokemon. Very strong designed dragon Pokemon. Eastern inspired. A very sleepy, derpy dragon, but a very interesting, unique design. Love its green and white color palette. Unlike the Altaria, which looks too much like clouds, this one is more stylized. Its body resembles clouds, but not are clouds. It is a clear dragon and, might I say, an S tier design. Very good job, 𝓹𝓵𝓪𝓂𝓵. is even better. It loses its sleepy, derpy design and gets very ferocious. Almost like its clouds now have armor on and it's ready for battle. Very, very strong dragon design, even better than 𝓹𝓵𝓪𝓂𝓼. This is another S tier dragon design. 𝓹𝓵𝓵𝓲𝓼𝓽𝓼. These are dinosaurs, raptors to be specific. The only one I can even think of passing is the 𝓹𝓵𝓪𝓂𝓼 because of the stage 1 leniency. It does stand on all four legs, does have a tail. I can easily see this evolving into a dragon, but unfortunately it evolves into a raptor dinosaur. So the only one that passes is 𝓹𝓵𝓪𝓼𝓼. The other two fail. That sounded a little bit mean. They are cool designs, but unfortunately they are not dragons. We have 6 Pokemon here, the largest amount of Pokemon we've ever had on the docket. 𝓹𝓵𝓪𝓂𝓼𝓽𝓼, 𝓹𝓵𝓪𝓂𝓼𝓽𝓼, and 𝓹𝓵𝓪𝓂𝓼𝓽𝓼. 3 of these pass, and 3 of these fail. Can you guess which ones they are? I think by now you should be able to guess at least 2 of them. That is right. 𝓹𝓵𝓪𝓭 and 𝓹𝓵𝓪 do pass because of the stage 1 leniency. 𝓹𝓵𝓪 I could see evolve into a fantastic looking apple dragon. I love its cute design, and the color palette is perfect, red and green contrasting colors. I like how it's colored to look like it has fangs on its apple design. 𝓹𝓵𝓪 is just 𝓹𝓵𝓪 but dipped in some very delicious looking sauce or icing or cream that you would like to dip 𝓹𝓵𝓪 into. And the other one that passes is 𝓹𝓵𝓪𝓂𝓼. It's a clear dragon. It almost is bug type. I will pass it because it's very unique in terms of its using the crust of the apple to be its wings and its tail and its head. It's not my favorite design, so it's at the bottom of the dragon type. But Appleton is just a pie, and Gigantamax Flapple and Hydrapple are snakes that have found themselves inside an apple. So not dragons, unfortunately. I'm actually going to go in for a closer look at Gigantamax Flapple upon enhancing the image. This, just like Altaria, is a snake in an apple. While we're at it, we will also enhance Hydrapple. Unfortunately, upon closer inspection, this is quite clearly a snake. So we gave it a second chance and still failed. So unfortunately, Appleton, Gigantamax, Flapple, and Hydrapple are not dragons. Now, at this point of the video, you're wondering, can skyscrapers be dragons? Yes, they can. But are these skyscrapers dragons? No. No, they are not. 𝓹𝓵𝓪𝓂𝓼 is a kaiju sort of design, so it almost passes, but not all kaiju are dragons. This is more of a Godzilla look, and Godzilla is very clearly a lizard. Now for 𝓹𝓵𝓼𝓼𝓼, it is more of a dragon design. I am almost tempted to pass it. Does it have a face? Let's go in for more of a closer look, closer inspection. Bridges can be dragons. Anything can be a dragon as long as it looks like one. Doesn't matter what it is inspired by. This is a bridge. You know what? I'm gonna pass it. It has the four legs, it has the tail, it has the long neck that leads up to a face. It's more of an abstract, sort of right angle shape dragon, and that is hard to get. Can I pass it without wings though? No, you know what? I don't think I can. Shelgon and Bagon and these early stage ones pass because of the potential of the evolution. 𝓹𝓵𝓼𝓼 does not evolve, so unfortunately this is a dinosaur. No wings. And I don't think we even need to talk about Gigantamax 𝓹𝓵𝓪𝓂𝓼. It is a absolute failure of a dragon. The next 3-stage evolution Pokemon is 𝓹𝓵𝓵𝓼𝓼, 𝓵𝓼𝓪𝓂𝓵, and 𝓵𝓵𝓃𝑏𝓪𝑡. This is a clear dragon evolution line. Now, I know I just said that it has to have wings to be a dragon. That is not always the case. For the 𝓹𝓵𝓼𝓼, it looked too much like a bridge dinosaur, but 𝓵𝓵𝓃𝑏𝓪𝑡 has the advantage of looking like a fighter jet, so we already know it flies, doesn't need the wings. 𝓹𝓵 is an A tier. 𝓵𝓼𝓃 doesn't actually have that awkward middle stage. It's a very good continuation of 𝓹𝓵, and 𝓵𝓵𝓃 is an S tier dragon design. Very cool, almost looks like a ghost with its color palette at the bottom. That leads up to its fighter jet bomber with two very small 𝓹𝓵s as missiles. The color palette is fantastic. Black, red, and blue. Very strong. Looks very fast. Clear dragon in my eyes. Completely passes. S tier for 𝓵𝓵𝓃, A tier for its two former evolutions. 𝓵𝓼𝓲𝓼 is a dinosaur, and 𝓵𝓼fish is disgusting, so F tiers for both. Next, the 3 Pokemon on the docket is Cyclizar, Koraidon, and Miraidon. And the next Pokemon to get a failing grade is Cyclizar. Clearly just a lizard with a tire in its body that doesn't even use it to ride around. Biggest problem I have with Koraidon is when you ride it in the games, it just walks around on 4 legs. What is the point of the tire? Whenever I looked over at my wife riding on Miraidon, I looked over in sadness because she was having so much more fun driving around on her futuristic Pokemon, while I just got to sit around and hang out with an iguana. But all that doesn't matter if it looks like a dragon. Does it get a passing grade? Koraidon does not. Just another embarrassment for Koraidon. Now, Miraidon, I am tempted to give a passing grade to it being a dragon. Let's go in for a closer look, shall we? I am actually going to pass Miraidon, and not just because I hate Koraidon. It doesn't have wings, but it is a futuristic looking dragon. Clearly flies around on its battery power. I love its lightning in its eyes. The yellow and dark purple color palette is very striking. 4 legs, long neck, leading up to a ferocious face. This is a dragon. Just another heartbreaking stab at Koraidon. Miraidon is clearly the box favorite, at least within the dragon fan base. Next up are the 3 forms of Tatsugiri, the curly form, droopy form, and stretchy form. I very much want to pass these. If Tatsugiri evolved into anything that looked like a dragon, the dragon sushi was a layup. I don't know why they did not decide to evolve Tatsugiri, and because of that, its base form looks like a fish on a bed of rice, a sushi. So I am sorry, but Tatsugiri gets a failing grade. It is not a dragon. The next Pokemon is 𝓵𝓵𝓵𝓼𝓽𝓼, 𝓵𝓵𝓵𝓵𝓵𝓵𝓵𝓵𝓵𝓵𝓵𝓵𝓵𝓵𝓵𝓵𝓵𝓵𝓵𝓵𝓵𝓵𝓵𝓵𝓵𝓵𝓵𝓵𝓵𝓵𝓵𝓵𝓵𝓵𝓵𝓵𝓵𝓵𝓵𝓵𝓵𝓵𝓵𝓵𝓵𝓵𝓵𝓵𝓵𝓵𝓵𝓵𝓵𝓵𝓵𝓵𝓵𝓵𝓵𝓵𝓵𝓵𝓵𝓵𝓵𝓵𝓵𝓵𝓵𝓵𝓵𝓵𝓵𝓵𝓵𝓵𝓵𝓵𝓵𝓵𝓵𝓵𝓵𝓵𝓵𝓵𝓵𝓵𝓵𝓵𝓵𝓵𝓵𝓵𝓵 the Tatsugiri, I desperately want to pass these. They are a strong kaiju dinosaur design. I can possibly say that 𝓵𝓵𝓵𝓲𝓼 is a dragon just for the leniency of stage 1, like I said. But 𝓵𝓵𝓵𝓼 is a Spinosaurus, and 𝓵𝓵𝓵𝓵𝓼 is a kaiju with a sword on its back in place of a fin. Mega 𝓵𝓵𝓵𝓵𝓼 has a massive sword, and I just want to pass it just for that. But I am a professional, and I will not pass something that doesn't deserve it just because I love their designs. 𝓵𝓵𝓵𝓼 gets the leniency point, but the other three do not. They are not dragons, and 𝓵𝓵𝓵𝓼 goes at the bottom of the dragon tier. Latias, Megalatias, Latios, and Megalatios. These are planes. But can planes be dragons? Skyscrapers can be dragons. Anything can be dragons. But unlike the Archeludon skyscrapers, these planes are dragons. And I think they're very clear dragons. What else would they be? They're not birds. They are fast-moving dragons that look like planes. And they get faster in their megaforms. A clear A-tier dragon. Good job, Latios and Latias, you deserve it. Wow. The absolute best Eastern style dragon Pokemon design that I have ever seen Pokemon do. Looking very much like Shenron with its green and yellow color palette. I'm gonna give Rayquaza base form an A tier, and that is only because Mega Rayquaza went for the extra credit. Looking absolutely fantastic. Very cool, ornate design with strings and streams of gold and red flying all about its body. Larger spikes and fins, bigger hands, some nice red and yellow gems along its body, looking even more ferocious. Some black eyeliner, so it's going through its goth and emo phase. Very cool, very strong, clear, S-tier dragon. Next up are the three beasts, and I'm going to continue to call them three beasts because these are not dragons. Walking Wake, Gouging Fire, and Raging Bolt. Gouging Fire didn't even try. It found some random trash lying around and put it on its head. Walking Wake just decided to stand up and get a bit more fluffy. And Raging Bolt, I don't even know what you decided to do. You tried to reach for the clouds, and you extended your neck into a thunderstorm. The only one I am willing to even think about passing is the Raging Bolt. 4 legs, tail, long neck, going up into a thunderstorm. It is unique, at least. So Raging Bolt possibly gets a pass. I think it'll need to do a little bit of extra credit. Maybe get some wings on there. And Gouging Fire is at the absolute bottom. Didn't even try. A failure. That sounds so mean. Nice things can I say, because you can't just be mean to these Pokemon. They do have feelings, for God's sakes. Walking Wake. It's cool. It's an ancient style of Suicune. Looks kind of like a raptor. I don't dislike it. Gouging Fire, I can't say anything nice, so I'm not going to say anything at all. Raging Bolt, it's pretty cool. I do like its long neck, Brachiosaurus design, but also not a dragon. Dialga origin form, 𝓹𝓵𝓪𝓂𝓵 origin form. Now, Dialga is a dragon, but I don't like it. It gets a passing grade, quite clearly a dragon. I'm not a fan of its very sharp features. Its dark blue and white color palette. It just looks very pointy. Its wings look awkward. And its large head doesn't match the rest of its body. Its tail is just a normal looking tail. If you were going with the spiky feel, it should have been a bit more spiky. It just looks like it's tacked on. It looks like it's wearing boots. It looks like it's supposed to be an ice Pokemon with all of its pointy features, but just not a fan of it. And Dialga origin form can go straight to hell because I have absolutely no idea what I'm looking at. It's just a bunch of random shapes that form into some odd-looking creature. I guess if you want to make it a silhouette, it does have the silhouette of a dragon. I guess I have to pass it based on that. If you want to make an abstract dragon, you can. I just don't think this is very appealing. So they get a passing grade, but I don't like it. 𝓹𝓵𝓪𝓂𝓼 does not get a passing grade. It is not a dragon. More kaiju. I don't like its color palette. I think Dialga and 𝓹𝓵𝓪𝓂𝓼 are the worst looking legendary box art Pokemon. They are just not very appealing to me. I always think that 𝓹𝓵𝓪𝓂𝓼 has lips, but if I look closer it actually doesn't. I think it's the color of its mouth that makes it look like it has lips to me. Now, 𝓹𝓵𝓪𝓂𝓼 origin form I think is the best looking out of all of them. Let's go in for a closer look to see if it is a dragon or not. I think actually it looks a bit more like a centaur than a dragon. It does have dragon features, but its legs look more like a horse's and its face looks more like a helmet. Does have wings. I actually kind of like it, but I'm unfortunately gonna declare it not a dragon. So the only two of these four dragon type Pokemon that get a passing grade are Dialga and Dialga origin form. Dialga I don't like, and origin form I went in for a closer look and I still hate it. It looks more like an alien to me. You can argue that it is a dragon, a very futuristic, abstract space dragon. So I'm gonna put it on the border for now. It's gonna have to do a little bit more extra credit. Maybe come back with more clearly dragon form. It looks more like a dragon than the origin form of 𝓹𝓵𝓪𝓂𝓼. But I don't know what they were going for with its very spiky knees that protrude out. Very abstract design, which can work, but I don't think it works here. This one is going to be more of a spaceship alien than a dragon. So upon further inspection, it is not a dragon. Giratina and Giratina origin form. Now this is a perfect example of how to do a abstract looking dragon. You can do an abstract dragon, and this is a very good example of it. Sort of a combination of a centipede with some death, dark wings, and a helmet. was a child, when I was less informed than I am now about dragons, I actually did not like 𝓹𝓵𝓪𝓂𝓼. I thought it was weird and creepy. But as I've grown and researched and learned more, 𝓹𝓵𝓪𝓂𝓼 is actually very strong design. I actually very much like it. The red and black wings moving down into the white of its body and its overlaid yellowish armor. Very cool design. Looks like the Dragon of Death. I think I will give 𝓹𝓵𝓪𝓂𝓼 an A tier. Moving on to its origin form, I think this one's even better. Very clear Eastern style serpent dragon with its wings now forming into streams of darkness. Its helmet is more menacing, and its body less centipede, more long snake. This is clearly a dragon. I like that its tentacles can still be looked at as wings. I'm going to give actually both of them an S tier. Abstract can still be a dragon. They are not sending their best. That's a dog. That's a slug. That's a robot. And that is a robot with a nuke. I can't believe they even thought about slipping these 4 past me. Nothing gets past me. I can identify a dragon and those aren't any. Eternatus and Eternimax. Eternatus is a dragon, no matter how much I don't want it to be. It looks like a quadratic equation that wanted to be a dragon. Very confusing looking, very sharp edges. Let's go in for a little bit of a closer look. Getting in closer, it doesn't look as bad as I remember. I think in motion it looks a little bit odd. I don't like its very sharp 3-pointed fingers. It has very sharp edges. It looks like if a math equation came to life, and I don't want to be reminded of math when I think about dragons. But this is a dragon. I will put it in B because it's unique. So, you pass. Eternatus. Eternimax. That is just a very gross looking hand. I know it's hard to see. I know it's hard to recognize. But a lesser dragon connoisseur might have missed it. It's clearly just a hand. And the only thing dragon about it is the Pokemon Company slapped a label on it. Naganadel. This is a dragon. I don't like its purple and pink design, and it's got a big butt. I think it's a unique design. The more I look at it, the more weird things I see about it. I think the best thing I can say about this is that it's a dragon. Pokemon up on the docket is Regidrago. Regidrago. Now, can a pink ball with tiny stubs as feet be a dragon? Well, yes, it can if it has a dragon's mouth around its body. So, yes, this is a dragon. And I very much like it. I love the red and black coloring. Very similar to Eternatus, and Eternatus's colors are cool. Red and black, hot pink and black are cool. Very striking. I think the dragon's head being its arms, very cool. And maybe it is because I dislike the Reggie trio, because just look at them. But Regidrago might be one of my favorite Pokemon. I think it's very striking. I think the abstractness does help. It's if Kirby had a dragon helmet on, and I think that's pretty funny. Reshiram. Unbelievable. Dragon design. Perfect. Love the clear, pure white of its color palette. This is an absolute S tier dragon. Quite possibly the best dragon Pokemon ever. It's definitely in the running up there with Salamence and Mega Charizard X. I would put Regidrago there now. That might be biased because I really do not like the Reggie trio. And I think he might even be up there by default because they finally made me like a Reggie Pokemon. Reshiram, S tier. Absolutely amazing dragon Pokemon. Its legendary box art counterpart Zekrom is, I will also put it at S, but I think it's a little bit lower. I think it stands a bit too tall and looks dangerously close to being a kaiju, but it is still an S tier dragon. Next we got Kyurem, white Kyurem, black Kyurem. Now Kyurem actually has a bit more of a dragon look to him than Zekrom, and a little bit more than Reshiram. It does get the dragon stamp of approval from me, but it's gonna be lower on the tier list. I think it's a little bit awkward of a design. It looks like its head is too big compared to its body. It's dangerously close to having small T-Rex arms, and its wings are just awkwardly placed. This is also why white Kyurem and black Kyurem are further down the list. They are dragons, so they get the stamp, but they just look less well designed than Reshiram and Zekrom. It looks like they just got Kyurem's armor and it's awkwardly placed on them. So they'll be down in B tier. Guzzlord. This is a demon lord. Guzzlord. No dragon features. It's got a big mouth, lots of tentacle appendages with mouths. This is a demon, quite clearly not a dragon. Ultra Necrozma, the final dragon-type Pokemon on our dragon-type tier list. Is it a dragon? I've thought about it, and I will give it a passing grade. It looks more like an angel Pokemon. Looks like it's formed of light. Let's go in for a closer look at this last dragon. Yes, this is a dragon. It's looking more like a Digimon, but that doesn't really knock in any points. We're just looking at whether it's a dragon or not whether it's a Pokemon or a Digimon. It's got 4 wings, some nice crystalline legs, very dragonish head, some nice body armor, made of light, strong silhouette. I like its color palette, looking very bright and majestic. So yes, I will give this a passing grade. It's not going to get a good grade, but I will put it in the B tier. It is a dragon. Well, thank you everyone for joining me tonight as I harshly graded and ranked all these dragon-type Pokemon. Got a lot of pass, got a lot to fail. I do think Pokemon needs to up their game in their dragon-type category. Most of these are either fish, or palm trees, or dinosaurs. Some of them are pretty good, but I would like the Pokemon Company to think before labeling anything a dragon. But you can always count on me to be here to confirm whether these are in fact dragons. But until the next time Pokemon wants to pass off a dinosaur as a dragon, this is Raining Souls ASMR, Dragon Connoisseur, signing off. Sleep well, everybody.